Exhale all our tension and just relax the body and mind here. You just expand your mind as limitless as the space. And with this mind, then we'll say a few prayers, the opening prayers. All Mother Sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and subliminally established in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All Mother Sentient beings, especially those enemies, hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and subliminally established in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All Mother Sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience, may they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and subliminally established in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. With that, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities, the mandalas, the yidams. We take refuge in all the excellent Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma gardens, possessor of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities, the mandalas, the yidam. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dhamma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, Dhammagat, possessors of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities, the mandalas, the yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the excellent Dhammas. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dhammagatas, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in Dharmas, and likewise in the assemblies of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas cultivated the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stage of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in Dharma, and likewise in the assemblies of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas cultivated the enlightened mind and progressed on Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stage of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dhammas, and likewise in the assemblies of Bodhisattva. As the previous Buddhas cultivated the enlightened mind and progressed on Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment reach. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. And the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment reach. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment reach. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that's free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that's free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that's free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Page 11. Unequal refuge, ornament of the wall. Your fame pervades the 3,000 walls. You are the victor, Vajradhara, without doubt. I vow at the feet of the Father Jigten Sungden. Continually I think of no one but you, compassionate, listen. Despite the darkness that surrounds my heart, please bless me so that I realize the unelaborated mind. Page 22. I pray to the glorious Lama, master of the four Buddha's bodies, crown jewel of entire Drikung Kagyu, Lord of sentient beings, teacher of the ultimate path, Lord of compassion, region of the Buddha, of peerless kindness, incomparable teacher, Vajradhara, heed my prayer, great Drikung. I pray to you, look upon me with the compassion, empower me with the blessing. The two attainments, bestow them now. Spontaneously establish the two benefits. Here bestow the fruit. Okay, thank you. Quando Juju Juju no, the Zulomra Jurba, the Beju Jaran, the Sabadam, the Bratam, Dozo, Jim Juzun, watching your love, those, Julam, watching your love, those, Lamtrabasa, watching your love, those, Truba, Shazo, Chawra, change your love, those, Dogma, your door, watching your love, those, to you, your door, watching your love, those. Tunde tablo kaba chenke lab dose, desa dan bra chenke lab. Good morning, everybody. Now we got today to reflect on the precious Dharma teachings. So we are so fortunate and we appreciate that and rejoice ourselves. And then we just relax the mind and look at the limitation we have in our mind. And then from there we start to see things, what is right, and to progress or to develop for our own interests, means for the peace and happiness for oneself and all sentient beings. For this, we are studying this precious Dharma book, the JOL, Ornament of Liberation. It's so precious because all the wisdom, compassion, and all the excellent practices are all incorporated in this book. So this book is the real jewel, Ornament of Liberation. It's the real jewel. All the precious jewels of the teachings are collected here. And through that, through this study and practice, we can get every opportunity to free from the liberation. So jewel, Ornament of Liberation, you see. So we, you can see each sentence, as I mentioned before, how rich, and all these Buddha's teachings. There's so many hundreds of volumes, and great masters like Nagarjuna Asangas, their commentaries are just all put together into a one small book. So that we appreciate, rejoice, to have to understanding and practicing this. Okay. So this has 21 chapters. This book has 21 chapters. So we finished yesterday chapter 12, the practice of generosity. So now we are in the, as you see there, bodhicitta, that section. There are 12 topics, so with the 12th, training of the bodhicitta. So it describes so detailed, step by step, the prerequisite of the bodhicitta, and the foundation of the bodhicitta, and how to prepare to cultivate bodhicitta, and actual ceremony of how to cultivate bodhicitta. Both bodhicitta of the aspiration and action or engagement, and then benefits of these. Now, how to train our mind in that. As it is, as yesterday also I mentioned, that it has infinite benefits. So to experience the infinite benefits, we should then train ourselves. In other words, we create the cause to actualize all these infinite benefits. So the benefit is there, but we have to create the cause to experience it. So that's why this now 6 paramitas are one of the kind of the Buddha and the great teachers they put together in a simple way so that we can follow step by step. And these are designed when we went through the abbreviated way of the 6 parameters, you see. First of all, to practice Dharma teachings, we have to have the precious human life. To achieve the human life, the moral conduct is necessary. And it's not enough just having the precious human life. Then we need all the causes and conditions, especially all the necessary things, provisions, food, clothes, shelter. For this, practice of generosity is designed. No precious human life. Then will come this to be friendly, to be accepted by the teachers. We have to have calm mind, relaxed mind. For that, patience, forbearance. And then the exhaustion means making effort, is perseverance. So see, all the requirement to make one complete factor, the 6 parameters are designed. So we just see that. So today we are studying and how to practice the moral conduct, chapter 13. The profession of moral ethics. The summary, reflection on the faults and virtues. Now these all the first 5 chapters of the 6 parameters are same kind of summary, definition, classification, characteristics of each classification, increase, perfection, and result. These 7 comprise the profession of moral ethics. See, in English we translate as a perfection or transcendent. In Sanskrit, as you know, it's a paramita. As the first day I mentioned, in Sanskrit, paramita means paramita. It's the word paramita, divided into 2. Paramita. Param means beyond, other side. Ita means to get there. Means other side of the samsara. Go beyond samsara, other side of the ocean of samsara. And to ita, to get there. So this is the method how to get there. So in English we translate as a perfection. So actually paramita, that's the meaning, So the profession of moral ethics. First reflects the reflection on the faults and virtues. Even though you may have the practice of generosity from the 6 paramita, we may have the practice of generosity. The people do a lot of charity practices, wonderful. You will not, but you will not achieve the perfect body of the gods and human beings meant to practice Dharma if you don't have moral ethics, or if you do not have the moral ethics practice. Yes, if you don't have moral ethics, means if you don't have the practice of the moral ethics. Engaging in the middle way, says by Chandrakirti. Even if one achieves wealth through generosity, one achieves a lot of wealth. The being who breaks his leg of moral ethics will fall to the lower realms. You see, like is a metaphor. If you don't have the leg of the feet, leg of the moral ethics, then will fall to the lower realms. This you can see, obviously, there's some dog or cat. They get such a great treat. Some rich people, there's those who have, or even some horses. Such a beautiful place. There are some human beings who are staying in the street, no shelter, But this dog, cat, like some horses, have a real good life. They get so good food, good place to live. When they get sick, they are well taken care of. See. Each day it brings their own result. So if you have the practice of generosity, giving wealth to others, then you can born like that. But due to lack of the moral ethics, you are born in the animal. See, it's very clear. See, the causality as I mentioned, is universal. How it works. So these are, so you see, you can admire this wisdom, how it works, things in the world. Without the practice of moral ethics, you will not meet the Dharma teachings. Because of that, if you are born as an animal, it's very clear you cannot meet the Dharma. No. Those, the dog, like a cat or horse, and other animals who have such a good life, tell them, now you practice Dharma, and see what they say, See. The Possessing Moral Ethics Sutra says, for example, a person without sight, without eyes, cannot see forms. Likewise, a person without moral ethics will not see the Dharma teachings. Means will no opportunity to study, practice Dharma. So that's why we have this precious human life, appreciate. In our past life, we have done something wonderful. Again, without moral ethics, you cannot be free from the three walls of samsara. As you know, three walls: the desire wall, the formless walls. The same sutra mentions or says, for example, a person without feet cannot walk on a road. Like a person without moral ethics cannot be liberated. So without pure moral ethics, you cannot be free from samsara. Again, without moral ethics, you are missing the path of enlightenment. So you are missing the one cause to achieve enlightenment. So because of that, the enlightenment is not possible. So will not achieve the unsurpassable enlightenment. On the other hand, now, these are some brief disadvantage due to the lack of the moral ethic practice. So first look at this, you see. For our own interest, we have to practice this without our choice. See? Maybe you don't like it. Say, no, I don't like this practice. But then you ask, do I want some peace and happiness? Do I want to have the precious human life? To answer to these questions, then without choice, you have to follow. See, this reality, you see, not just as a Buddhist belief. So now what is the advantage to keeping the moral ethics, you see? On the other hand, you will achieve the perfect body when you have moral ethics. The condensed perfection of Wisdom Sutra says, through moral ethics, one will avoid the rebirth of animals and so forth, the lower realms. The 8 unfavorable conditions, as those are described in the precious human life, and will always find leisure. Means that always you get opportunity to study, practice Dharma. Means you get the precious human life. When you have moral ethics, you can establish the foundation of all the goodness and happiness, you see. As in the abbreviation of the 6 parameters mentioned there, see, moral ethics, meditative equipoise, special insight. So moral ethics is the foundation. And on that foundation, then we built the meditative equipoise, special insight, all the rest of the 6 parameters. The letter to a friend says, Nagarjuna, just as the ground is the basis for motion and stillness. Motion means those who move. Human beings, non-animals, who moves back and forth. Because the ground, the earth, because the ground, we move, we have a place to move. Stillness means to grow all this tree, mountains, the oceans, who settle there, stable because of the earth, because of the ground. This is the matter. This is the example. So, likewise, moral ethics is the basis of all the excellent qualities. Whatever peace and happiness in the samsara and in the nirvana, so this all are based on the moral conduct, moral ethics. Any peace and happiness we experience because of our good deed, our positive thoughts. So that positive thought is the base of the moral conduct. Doesn't matter religious or no religious. No. Even animals, when their mind is calm and peaceful, they have also happiness. It's because of the moral conduct. They may not have, as a human being, moral conduct, but still the peace and happiness they have happening, experiencing, because of the virtue, positive cause that they have created. So, see how important this is. It's like a ground. From this ground, it makes the basis to achieve enlightenment. When you have moral ethics, it is like fertilized ground, you see. On that basis, all the crops of good qualities will grow. Engaging in the middle ways, Chandrakirti, he says, when all the good qualities increase in the field of moral ethics, one can enjoy the result without ceasing. See? When the farmers have good ground, field, well fertilized, and then seed, plant the seed, and it will grow freely and enjoy the crops. Likewise, if we make our moral conduct vast, profound, then this peace and happiness will come without stopping. It will avalanche without stopping, the peace and happiness. It's very clear in the world. You see those people who keep the moral conduct, giving the pure life. Their life is much better off. They have more peace, they have more happiness, more harmony. Doesn't matter what kind of religion they believe, or even they don't have any religion. Those, their mind is so corrupted in the delusion, discard any good things, or disregard oneself and others, and suffering is inevitable. Make sense? Yes. Look at this, you see. So this is what it's saying here. So this encourages us to be better human being. You know? When you have moral ethics, you will reach the diverse doors to the meditative concentration, you see. Then it makes a good foundation to meditate. Meditation practice. See, the Moon Lamp Sutra says, actually it says also Samadhi Raja Sutra, one will quickly achieve unafflicted or undefiled meditative concentrations. This is the beneficial effect of pure moral conduct. See, when one who experiences the undefiled meditative state, which means supported by the special insight, it's because of the pure moral conduct. When you have moral ethics, you will accomplish everything for which you have said aspiration prayers. Whatever aspiration prayers you say, that will achieve when you have pure moral conduct. That means when you have practice, when you have created the cause. It's saying it's not enough just say prayers. Everybody says prayers, with religion or without religion. There are some people who have no any religion. They pray, may I be successful in my business, so forth. But when they don't have the virtuous practice, like keeping the 10 virtues, so forth, there's no cause to have the success, the prayers, what you said. So keep the moral conduct, So this up to date, you see. It's not outdated, It's not being a religious person, but this is how to be more practical, you see. Prayers. The meeting of fathers and son, Sutra says, means this Buddha Siddhartha, when he was not Buddha, when he was a Bodhisattva as Siddhartha, he left kingdom, His father was so disappointed when he left, So after so many years, the first 6 years he went to meditation practices, then he achieved enlightenment after 6 years. Then after that he benefited sentient beings, including human beings and gods, all this. And after so many years, then finally, his father, Shuddhodana, inspired to see his son. And when he saw his son, Buddha, gathering hundreds of thousands of assembly, both human beings and non-human beings, including gods, then his father was so impressed, inspired. If he had been the king of the small kingdom, he will have that much power. But now, he's not just only the king of the human being, but he is also now king of the gods, So there are a lot of discussions. So the discussions are put together. It is called sutra called meeting father and son. So from that you see, for one who keeps pure moral conducts, all aspiration prayers will be accomplished. Means if you have created the cause. When you have moral ethics, it is easy to establish enlightenment. The same sutra says, pure moral ethics bear great beneficial effects. Because of that, it is not difficult to establish enlightenment. So because of this so important moral conduct, you see, this is called view, meditation, and conduct, the three. Without these three together, there's no way to free from samsara. That's why Lord Chaitanya Sumkun put so much importance on this moral conduct. He explained away, no separation of the moral conduct and the Mahamudra, because they support each other. When you keep moral conduct pure, one has and gets great opportunity to realize Mahamudra. When one practices Mahamudra, means keeping mind in the right place, and has great opportunity to have the pure moral conduct. When the mind is scattered, all direction, there's no moral conduct, there's no Mahamudra practices. And so forth, there are many great qualities. The possessing moral ethic, Sutra says, this Buddha spoke directly to the monks. One who has moral ethics will meet the Buddha when he appears. No, because Buddha is the perfection of moral ethics. So when you keep the moral ethics purely, then seeing the Buddha you get a better chance, more closer. Not just only physically, but in your practice. One who has moral ethics has the supreme ornament of all. See, when you could keep the moral ethics, the robe that Buddha designed were the robes, especially for the monks and nuns, and keep the moral ethics well. That's the best ornament you can have. People respect. People see the purity of life. No. Because that is a symbol of non-violence. When you see a person who is non-violence, say, what kind of reaction will be there? No harm come from, or that harm doesn't come. It's source of peace, source of joy. See. So we have to make every effort, to do this. Like the lay people, there's 5 precepts, you see. Keep those 5 precepts purely. And that person becomes trustworthy, even in the world. And for yourself, there's great joy. There's no regret. Furthermore says, see, one who has moral ethics is source of all joy. One who keeps the moral ethics is praised by the whole world, and so forth. Everybody will have praise to that person. A man, a source of peace, source of joy, source of wisdom. Not only in the world, but even our group. in a small group who keeps the moral conduct, everybody appreciate that person, respect that person. See, that's reality, you see. Any community, you see. So these are the disadvantage, not taking care of the moral conducts, and advantage, the keeping the moral conducts here explains just generally, you see. As I mentioned, we just look at this. Now, so look to yourself, appreciate yourself. I'm so fortunate now to have this opportunity. Now I will progress more. Means purify mind. No, this basically is purify the mind. Definition. The definition of moral conduct has 4 qualities. Bodhisattva Bhumi says, one should understand that the definition of moral conduct, moral ethics, has 4 qualities. What are these 4? Taking precept perfectly from others, that's one. First you take the precept. They're like, say, 5 precepts, or 10 precepts, or whole precepts. Then Bodhisattva's vow. Like those, so that's first. Once you have taken the precepts, having pure motivations, then you keep the precept with the pure motivations to free from samsara, to achieve enlightenment, to purify our mind. No? Pure motivation. Renewing one's practice if it declines. If some cases, no, due to lack of vigilance, awareness, declined, broken vows, renew it. So I made mistake. I purify. Awesome. See, 3. And having mindfulness and respect so that one's practice will not decline. So then you respect your moral conduct. So I'm so fortunate to take these 5 precepts or all the vows. No. You encourage yourself. Look at the benefits of those. No. So all this above mentioned, it's mentioned that you say the virtues of keeping the moral conducts. You look at that there's so much that benefit. I must keep it. It has real jewel that I have. See, because if we take the precepts so much and don't keep it, then what's the purpose? No. Take the precept to keep. To keep means practice Dharma. Practice Dharma means purify the mind. If we don't practice Dharma teachings, all the knowledge that we have doesn't bring much benefit. One may be very expressive explaining the teachings, but if one doesn't have the practice, so what is so much benefit? Okay. Abbreviated, these 4 qualities come under the categories of receiving and protecting. There's 2, you see, come into 2 categories. In the above quotation, receiving is the first quality. receiving the vow, receiving the precept is the first one. Protecting is the last three. Then how to keep is the last three. There's four divided into two. The first one is to take, to accept the precept, and the rest three, way to how to keep the precepts. Pure motivation. If it declines, renew it, and always appreciate, rejoice, see the good, the beneficial effects of the moral ethics. No? Then you will always appreciate, you will feel so happy. No? Because it's a way how to free from suffering, how to free from samsara. It's not a way to have a burden into you. If you don't know how to keep the precept, it just makes you more miserable. No, you don't like it. Then other people will abuse you. Say, no, then you were trapped in the double problems. So always keep the mind at the right place. Make your mind calm, peaceful, relax. No, appreciate, rejoice. And happiness just there. No. Third classification, moral ethics has three classifications. A, moral ethics of restraint. The morality of accumulating virtuous dharma. Here dharma means all the excellent qualities. This dharma means excellent qualities. Virtues. Excellent qualities, virtues, so forth. And the third, C, morality of benefiting sentient beings. So see, designed so carefully. See, the first means to restrain your mind in a proper place, you see. Proper place means keep your mind in the virtuous state. Reflect on the impermanence of all phenomena. Reflect on the suffering of samsara and causality. You see. Then, as yesterday mentioned, when you reflect on the suffering of the sentient beings whole, it will give you some sense of renunciation. And when you reflect on the suffering sentient beings, look into the other sentient beings, gives you opportunity to develop compassion. So this way, it helps us to our mind in the right place, in a good place. See, that's restrain your mind in the proper place. The second one means to mature the Dharma qualities of your mind, you see, through study, through practice, then make our mind more ruly. In the samsara, our mind is so unruly, you see. When anger comes, we just follow with anger. When the attachment desire comes, the mind follow with it. So unruly. And then we just gather all the unfavorable conditions when suffer. Through reflecting Dharma teachings, meditating, practicing, everyday basis, then it matures mind. That means, as mentioned, our mind become a ruly mind, more flexible, more workable. No. So your mind becomes a friend of yourself, not an enemy of yourself. No. So this mature the Dharma qualities of your mind. And the third one means to fully mature sentient beings. So say, first one, abstain from all the non-virtuous deeds. Then study, practice, develop yourself. then there's resource to help other sentient beings, so benefiting sentient beings.